Good afternoon, my people of the world. Um, Sorry if that was nasty. I don't know how much of that caught on film, but hope you have a legendary grand day. I just got a comment, because I did a funny video, and in the comment says, and it's already on the screen, it says more diss tracks, but find new subjects. You stay talking about the same people. No offense, Holmes. So there's, I was just gonna respond to it, but I was like, let me make a video about it. There's a lot of things wrong with this comment. So it seems like this guy is brand new to the channel. It seems as if this guy probably doesn't know hasn't done the research or hasn't done his homework. And so let me answer this with a video talking about it. You know, I'm outside. I haven't been outside here in a minute. So there's a lot of things wrong with this comment that I feel like they should have done the research and their homework right quick before, and they could have, it's fine if this happened, like, and this comment was made, but if they did the research to find out the information about everything, that would be okay. So the first answer, I was going to say, a different first answer, but I just thought of it. The first answer is technically I already did the roast track on, but it wasn't a roast track. It was just talking about the situation in general. I have different responses to the whole thing in general. I've had the response that I kind of regret because, I won't lie, I was slightly in my feels and I slightly liked them. So, I responded on the October and July Nightmares and Vibes. On that album, I responded in a couple different songs. And then, I don't remember, I think Why You Do That For, it wasn't based on that. Actually, that was before that, I'm pretty sure. But the All Your Fault Z-Mix that I did with Hobson, that one was based on the situation. And then my most popular Z-Mix and song on the Legendary Grand Entertainment channel is the Beautiful Mistakes Z-Mix, which is me also talking about the situation. Which, just to correct myself, at the end I said, if things change, I'll still make beautiful mistakes, yada yada yada, blah blah. I don't think I would. Not for that situation. That situation, because of a lot of reasons, I'm not doing that again. I'm good. I've fully moved on. I know I said earlier that I slightly had feelings, whatever. Okay, my mistake, whatever. I'm already moved on from it, so y'all can talk about it and be like, oh, you still have feelings for the female, whatever. No, that's been way past gone, and that was slightly, okay, because we had a good time, but there were so many problems with that whole situation that I can make a video on, and yeah, I kind of made a video on it that I was thinking about taking down, but nah, it doesn't really matter. Going back to it though, the other obvious, the very first thing that's so obvious that I wanted to make the second point on is he called it a diss track. So to clarify, so you know what it is, there are diss tracks in hip hop and rap. That's what it's called, and they have different goals than what I do, which are called roast tracks. So on this side, you have something that's already established called a diss track. And I made I just woke up, by the way. I have an entirely new concept that I created, that I made up based off of roasting. Look up the roast on Comedy Central. The roast of Justin Bieber, Snoop Dogg. There's one even called the roast of weed, etc. Just go look, do the research, and find out what a roast is. And a roast has been like an established joking way of saying that back in the day, even when I was in middle school and high school, and I was like, I used that as a way of explaining, when I roasted stuff or when something was being roasted. That's the terminology I would use, or terminology, and so, and use that term. So, I've been saying it for a long time, and I'm like, well, I could turn it into something, and so I took diss tracks and I formed it in my own way, because with mine, I'm not trying to be negative. It's never a negative thing, because of course, at the end of the day, during the roast of Justin Bieber, or the roast of this person or that person, during those roasts, they didn't really mean it. I've explained this before. I've explained the whole roast track thing before. That is a squirrel on top of that line. The goal isn't to negatively impact a person. It's just like, when I make it, it's to have fun, it's to talk about topics, and it's to roast. If anybody thinks it's anything more than that, they completely have it wrong. They haven't done their research. And if they think it's negative, they're just not seeing it for how it is and what it is. Because that isn't what it is to talk about these things. And some people don't even realize, when I do roast tracks, they're not just a roast track, they're also a song. So, it's like multiple forms of something. And I created a completely new idea of taking a roast or a diss track and changing it, and completely changing the whole, like, from the bottom to the top, the whole substance of it, and changing the whole idea of it into something different. Because my goal, like, I've never made a diss track. I don't think the day will come when I make a diss track. I highly doubt I'll ever make a diss track. Because, a lot of people don't like me, but it doesn't mean that they're all going to get roast tracks or diss tracks, etc., I mean, do the research. I never said I did a diss track, and the only time I talked about diss tracks, it's usually me correcting people, calling my roast tracks diss tracks. Either A, that, or B, it's me talking about how I will most likely never make one. So there's that. Secondly, he said, find new subjects. You stay talking about the same people. So firstly, the subjects have to do with the roast. The subject have to do with what's being talked about, because it's called a roast track for a reason. It's different from my other songs, different from my other music. Roast tracks specify in roasting who I'm talking about or what I'm talking about in that exact area of things. It's not, just dissing this person or roasting this person, or dissing, absolutely not, but I'm just trying to get my point out. It's not just like doing that. It talks about what it talks about. I don't know until I make the roast track. Which also, I haven't made a roast track in, I don't even know. When I made the roast track, Reality Check 9, I made that back in like April, and then I ended up finally uploading it because I just never got around to it recently. And then, I made a new picture with it. Because I already had the whole like picture done for like months now. The one where it says, all the pink words on the screen to be funny and all that, all that. But another thing, I feel like this guy, the way he responded, sounds like he didn't like him maybe, or he didn't understand like how much a roast those were. It's all about research. It's all about, if you like hip hop and rap, you will like my roast tracks. You will understand how many bars and how much things go into it. I rapped insanely fast and no one was talking about that. Freaking on, Reality Check 8, for example, or even Reality Check, well, it was 4, but the original 4 hasn't came out. That's actually, a hidden gem. You notice how the order of the songs actually is missing one, because I haven't done that one completed yet. So, going back to it, so him saying that I was talking about the same people, the last time I talked about them in a roast track was Reality Check 9. That was months ago, technically. But he says that I talk about the same people, but you gotta like see the product. You can't just be like, oh, he's just talking about the same people, and not like look at it and understand it and research it. You can't just look at it at face value and then move on to the next song. You can't just watch the video, and then if you don't understand any of it, that, and then move on to the next video or watch the next video. And then don't even like or comment, just watch it and then just, be done with it. It's these little things that are most important. If you like hip hop, if you like rap, if you like the culture, you'll understand it. If you don't, but you're interested, you do that research, and then you find out more things. You got to do it like how I did it. I've done tons and tons of research on diss tracks, and you know, when I was doing my very first roast track, we're talking about shoot, I don't even freaking remember. What is that? Talking about ill shot. It was just freaking Harley. I don't know. She's going outside, or I don't know. What are you doing, Harley? You coming outside? What are you doing? All right. The ill shot, which, you know, I came up on the spot. That one was based off of ill cams that FaZe Clan did. There's so many meanings that I could just break down that people could have simply just didn't research on. You know, ill cams go into it. Freaking ill shot is just taking out the K in kill shot because it takes out the K in Hawk's name that he added. Freaking because he added it because of the X Deadly's name. You know, there's simple things that people can understand. And then he'll be more of the gamer tag that's been inactive since 2017. I think it was 2017, but I don't know, bro. I haven't cared enough about the situation to know every little detail, right? I don't really care. Now, unless he means like find new subjects as in people, I could, but I'm not Eminem, you know. I don't do it for like attention or like a PR stunt, publicity stunt. I don't do it for the clout. I don't do it just to do it, just to get people talking about me. And yeah, that's a thing that some people might do, and that's what, you know, Eminem probably did. I don't know, because I don't know Eminem. I haven't seen interviews, I haven't watched things, I haven't done research, so I can't say for myself that I know whether that's true or not. Now, you know, I'm friends with some people, yeah, but it doesn't mean like that I talk to everybody in the music industry, which, by the way, since Harley's just chilling over here, I'm going to show Harley real quick. Look at Harley. Look at Harley. She just decided to go over here. I've been around this dog for a long time. She's been just chilling. She just went outside and just sat down. I've never seen her do that, but yeah, like, just because that idea is a thing doesn't mean that I want to do it, because that's more of like a diss track route. Like, looking for people to do diss tracks on instead of knowing people I can do roast tracks on is something that, let's put it this way, okay? Think of it like this. Let me break it down like this. When I made the roast tracks, there are reasons. I'm normally making music. Yeah, they're fun. Yeah, I like them. Yeah, they're good music. Yeah, they're good songs. But when it comes down to the whole thing, they aren't my first songs that I choose, that I listen to of my music. They aren't the first songs that I recommend or suggest to people, that I send to people. I don't do that. And yeah, they're good, but it doesn't mean they're my best work. And some people can argue that, yeah, I mean, I am good at it, of course. And I am, you know, very prominent in that whole thing. Yeah. Some people can argue that could be their favorite thing that they like that I do. That could be some people's favorite, just music that I've made. I don't know. A lot of people, you know, like that type of stuff. But it's not, for me, I don't see it as like drama. For me, I don't see it as this or that, or beef, or, you know, anything like that. I just see it as, okay, it's multiple things. So I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but I'm just going to say it to make this video a little bit more quick. One of the things that I see it, I'm like, okay, this is a challenge. And whether they accept it or not, I'm still going to make the song anyway. I'm going to challenge them. This person, like, for example, the first person I called out, including the other people, they called me out on video games, and they want to call me out. So I'm like, okay, I already beat every one of you that I can name. I've already beat you. I've already beat you multiple times. That's done, okay? The two of you that recorded our battles and our 1v1s and my wins of those, y'all deleted them. So what are you trying to ask me to do more just so y'all could delete them and hide from the fact that I beat you? Modern Warfare 2019, Alpha Shadowhawk the clone, beat that. that's done, you know. And that was 2019. That was streamed, okay? We're talking about after all the years that I beat him. The overweight flea, freaking ant that I squished with my boat, you know. That. BO3 twice, okay? He let someone join for whatever reason. That's his choice. I basically won like 1.5 times because of that. So congratulations. That's done. So if they want to say all this stuff about career and that I'm not good at this and not good at that, and then, you know, or I'm just good at Call of Duty, or all these excuses to say stuff, right? If they say all this stuff and I'm like, okay, y'all have a PC, y'all have a microphone, you have everything you need to download a free music making application on your computer, like Audacity, like what I use, something free, not no FL Studio, okay? Not FL Studio. I've been making it on Audacity. So if you can download that, and if you can make music how I've been making music, you are very well able to do a roast track. You are very well able to do a diss track. It's not going to be a roast track. I'm the only one who makes them. I made it up anyway. You're the only one to have the equipment, to have the things to do those, to do a song, but yet I'm the only one doing them. But yet, knowing me explaining that to you, you cannot compete in gaming. You cannot compete in that. You cannot compete in music. That's it. It's just next thing. No, not next thing, but like, there's nothing there. There's no substance at that point. Because if all of their, which they don't have, skills, talents, and abilities are all on gaming, that should explain that. It speaks for itself. And it's a whole nother thing when none of them have any of that in gaming anyway. So it's like, what are we talking about here? And there's multiple things that they don't show anything that, you know, makes them stand out, and they're just not entertaining, they're not funny, etc. You know, there's multiple reasons and multiple things that I talked about in those roast tracks too that I used. Those very things that I just talked about was in those. And it's true. I bring up the facts. I don't make up stuff to make up stuff unless I'm using it as a joke or the comedy aspect of it. The only time I say any of that stuff is I just either, you know, and that's the point of a diss track. You bring up facts that people don't know about. You bring up stuff, you know, that, you know, talks about someone and exposes them and etc. That's a diss track. But in my roast tracks, I do that same thing, yes. But, you know, that's that. After that, you know, there's that. Some might argue that it might not have the same effect as a diss track. Well, that's okay with me because, again, like, I don't do diss tracks. I do roast tracks if I do anything, you know, at all similar to that. And then, you know, that's that. So, yeah, yeah, the way he explained it was a little, I don't know, because he was saying that, you know, I was talking about the same people, but you gotta realize there's no one else to talk about. I mean, yeah, I could just go find people to talk about, but that's so time consuming. Like, I do more than just music. There's another thing you can do research on is on me and finding out other stuff that I do, because if you was a real fan, all right, and you're commenting this, if you looked at my other content, and if you was a real fan, you will look at other content and find out that I don't do just music. I mean, you're commenting on the channel that doesn't even have music unless it's like a couple of joke videos, like my freestyle or the other thing. You realize that the channel you're commenting on, the video you're commenting on isn't even music. But he was referring to making a song about, you know, that female, right? But I mean, it's just gonna be like the, you know, Eminem Mariah Carey thing. And yeah, but like Nick Cannon said something, but the dude of hers didn't say anything, because I mean, like, he knows as much as I do how this situation is just stupid. At least I hope. But freaking, I already used the beat that Eminem did on Mariah Carey on the Warning on the Alpha Shadow Hot Clone. For, again, multiple reasons. There's always reasons for something. When you hear any of my roast tracks, there's reasons for everything that was said, everything that was used, the beats, etc. Okay, so you want to do the research before you comment. You want to do the research before you say anything. Like, this is okay of a comment, but I'm saying that if you want to talk about these things, you must do the research. You want to get, something said in its best form, you want to make sure you do the research. Because this comment seems like it's just very, a little bit misunderstanding, a little bit misinformed maybe, or maybe even uninformed. I'm just not too sure. I wanted to make this video short as possible, but when there's a lot of stuff to explain to answer this question, I have to make sure I answer every part of it. And I know I said I wanted to keep it short and not explain everything, but I'll explain a little bit. Firstly, just because I got the time. Secondly, I do like this question. I very much like this comment. Even though maybe the person didn't really do research, that's okay, because this comment actually was a great idea, and I'm glad it was made. It was something that really put me in that, like, I woke up to this comment on the phone. Like, it was like, what, 20 minutes ago, and I just woke up, and I'm like, you know what, that's kind of something. And so the second part of this video I want to dedicate to is answering the question, am I gonna do a roast track on this person, this other person? Now, let me actually answer something right quick. The beats that I use, like the Eminem, the Warning type instrumental, was, for reasons. And some people probably say, oh, you should just use your own beats. Don't use, like, Eminem's beats, like the Kill Shot or Machine Gun Kelly's Rap Devil, or, how many other ones that I use? I use, like, a few more. Maybe not a few more, like a couple more. But one of them was the Warning by Eminem in the Reality Check 7. Those are, like, for the reasons, there's reasons, like the reason why I use the Warning by Eminem to Mariah Carey is because the guy is kind of like, kind of doing feminine things, like fruity decisions and choices, and thinking kind of fruity. So I let that explain for itself. I thought it was too obvious already. This bird is freaking... What are you doing, bird? I'm gonna have to get an ill shot. No, but the reason I used that, and the John Cena ones, is because he likes John Cena. So, that's that. But I also like John Cena, but I liked his first gimmick better than the second. His second one's alright, but it's because, like, he's the only one, with the whole bathroom thing that I've already explained. There goes that bird. Don't have to ill shot it. Freaking, there's just so many meanings. Like, there's just, if you've heard of it and you know about it, then I'm not gonna explain all the information. But the whole bathroom thing, where I was using the bathroom and he knew I was using the bathroom. Okay, I told him in the freaking Reality Check 3, the You Gon' Learn remix, I told him to chill in the lyrics. After I told him to chill, because I told him, hey, I'm gonna use the restroom right quick. Like, this is something that's already been happening. He hasn't did it before, and I don't know what was going in his head, and I was telling him, hey, chill for a second, work on your emblem, work on your freaking clan tag, work on something. Like, it's gonna be 10 seconds. So I didn't obviously say everything like that, because he hasn't did anything before, and I expected, when the light's on and you hear the bathroom running and all that, no one's gonna walk into you walk into the bathroom while you're in there, okay? And so for some reason this time was different. So I tell him I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, chilling here, do something. He has a phone to go on. He has the PlayStation 3 that already has BO2 or MW3 loaded up, probably Black Ops 2. He has all this stuff already, like, so many stuff to do. He can, like, mess with something in the room. I don't know, something. Anything other than what he actually did. So what he did is, 5 seconds go by. I'm, like, halfway through my, draining of leakage. This dude, the only dude in history that I know that walked in, knew that I was in the bathroom, knew that I was using it, walked in, looked at it, and when I mean it, and walked out while laughing. I don't care how you see that scenario. That dude probably likes a whole entire gender that I don't, more than I do. Now, I talked about the situation before, but, if I want to, get all these points in, I'll just re-explain it right quick because it doesn't take that much. And, there's just reasons for all of that. Like the feminine thing that I was talking about earlier, that's why I used the warning, the M&M's, the warning. And when I use these, it's just like another meaning to it. Like, these are just things that if you do the research, you can, find out. And I had another thought, an idea of something I was going to talk about, but I'd completely forgot it. So I'll just talk about before I can transition into this point. Well, actually, this is like the beginning of, part 2 now. Now that I've finished talking about that, from what I know. So, going to this now, and part 2 of this video, to answer the question, will I do a roast track on this person, or will I find someone else, or is there someone else to do a roast track on? So, firstly, let me answer the question with, I've already talked about the situation in Beautiful Mistakes Z-Mix, the All Your Fault Z-Mix, and few of the tracks from October's and Vibes. Oh no, October's and July, Nightmares and Vibes, because it rhymes. Talked about it in that one, and then even in the You Mad Stay Mad album that I believe was after that one. Talked about it then. So, there's like 2 albums that I talk about it on, few tracks. Which, you would find out if you did the research, but I probably never explained that those songs were based on that. Well, it's based on that. Get It Right. No, not Get It Right. I don't know. I'll have to, do the whole research, and if it, that was, the only part of the video where I'd have to actually look at what songs actually are about them, but it's in that album, and I don't have all the tools. I could, hook up my PC and get this video fully finished and, actually answer the question, but, I can answer it in the future if it ever becomes a question, but it should be obvious if you just do the research or you ask me which songs are the ones. But yeah, as far as that goes, I've already basically did roast tracks in the form of Z-mixes, and I used a verse to talk about it, or more. But as far as that goes, doing a specific, an actual roast track on the person, I don't really think they're deserving or worth it, but, I mean, if the other ones can get one, but it's not in the terms of if they're worth or deserve it. But I mean, at this point, I already talked about it, I already did the roast type of things, and that's it. I mean, the way I can answer this is I don't think it needs a roast track. I don't think that putting a roast track out really, would make sense, because, it's the whole thing when she was kind of bumming off the house and just staying there for some reason, but saying that she wanted to go back to her house and saying that she couldn't, and that I kept her there. This chick, it's not even chick, this person is something else. I don't know what's going on there, or what's going on with them, but whatever it is, they're far beyond reality and not here. They lost the whole morality and, lost their touch with reality 100%. And what is there to talk about if I made a roast track about the person that this video was commented on? Because think about it. If I already talked about the situation in the songs, I talked about it in different ways, and you know how I dealt with it, I guess you could say. If I did that already, what would be the point of roasting them again? Because in the All Your Fault Z-Mix, I did that. It said what I already said what I needed to say. I already said what I said. So, what would be the point in talking about the same things again for a roast track? Because not only have I talked about everything already, but you know, this whole, like, not even friendship, because we weren't even that close, but they just like stayed at my house for some reason. Didn't even ask or nothing. They just stayed there, and then thought we were in a relationship, and then would come back to cheat on their ex-fiance, that's their now fiance or something, to try to get with me. And it's like, that doesn't work out like that, you know. That's just a little weird. Like getting on birth control and everything too, like, whew, that's a whole thing. Anyway, but so also, I'm sorry for you guys that see that in the comments. I try to delete it as fast as possible, because you know, some people can't just act normal, I guess, or like an average human being. So in that case, I've already talked about it, and in the span of those months, all the things that happened weren't really much. They just stayed at my house, was drinking, was smoking, you know, and a couple different forms of smoking, like vaping, and then, you know, the pot, and probably other stuff when they went home, when they actually did go home. Like, bro, I don't even, like, it got progressively worse over time, and it legitimately was a waste of time. Like, I wanted to hang out and chill and all that, but I didn't think that it would get to those levels where they would, you know, think it was more than it is. And then, like, you know, I don't even know. But thinking about it now, if I were to make a roast track, like I've been thinking about it for the past, you know, minutes, and however many minutes, and I don't think there's anything else to talk about in that situation. You know, basically, when I was making this video, I was gonna say, yes, I'll do a roast track. But then, you know, thinking about it now, I'm like, but what can I talk about that hasn't been talked about? So, you know, if someone wants to see it, I'll still do it. But I've already talked about everything there needs to be talked about. So, I'll just see what I can do, because one of you guys suggested it. Now, I know you meant like you want more roast tracks, but here's this answer here, okay? Because I answered everything, and I answered if I were to make a roast track, or if I weren't, or if I will or not, about this person. Now here's the answer to finding more subjects or finding more people to do roast tracks on. The answer to that is, who the freak can I do it on at this point? Because I already did it on everybody. I did every possible person that there is to do a roast track on. You know, voila. Freaking bon appetit. It's done. Finished meal. Cooked. In my belly. Done. Buffeted. Okay? That's been done. Now, on anybody else, who do you think I can make it on? People that I don't have previous, people that I don't have, I can't say drama, because it's not drama to me. People that I've had, you know, a previous situation with, where, you know, they're going mental. Those are all the people. They've already been, you know, roast tracked. So, I guess if someone in the future does that, then sure, I could do it, sure. But I don't. The reason I did roast tracks is because those are people that were around and slightly I know. That's the reason I did them. I don't just hand out roast tracks to random people and find random people like I would say kind of like Rice Gum, but he only does them on kids. So you know, just like iDubbbz did to Rice Gum, even, you know, just I don't find people and do roast tracks on them. You know, I'm not like like I said earlier, Eminem or, someone else. I don't just, find people and do roast tracks on them. I can, but when it comes down to it, I love hip-hop and rap, but I'm not, and I guess, yeah, technically I'm in the rap game, but I don't find really a reason to just find people and do roast tracks on. That's just, like, I kind of get it, but to just find people and do roast tracks on, like, I don't know, man. Like, to me, it doesn't really make sense, because with the other people, it made sense because of the situations, but when it comes to just going around finding people doing roast tracks, I don't know. I don't know about that idea. I like the idea, and I could do the idea, but if it's people that I just simply don't know, it loses one of those big things, one of those big, well, for lack of a better term, one of those big, like, reasons or big things that have more people care is when I know the person, it's more important, or it's more impactful, or, if that makes sense, it's more crazy, or more like, oh shoot, he actually knows this person also, on top of, this and that in a roast track. But if you lose that part where I actually at least known the person slightly, even if I did slightly, basically, if they're in my life too, if that's the case, then it's like more important, and it's like, oh, more people want to hear about it. But if I don't know the person and I'm doing a roast track, and if I don't know them, I can only see stuff on the internet about them. So anything could be true or not, and it's the internet. You don't want to believe everything you see. So of course I could just go with it anyways. But I mean, like, think about it. Let's be real. You would rather want to hear a story with someone that I know than someone that I don't know, right? That I maybe just hanged out a couple times with, right? And all those people that I talked about, I mean, sure, one of them, two of them, maybe more, that are, in the little gamer group, I haven't met in real life. But I know enough about them to write some facts, some bars. So, and it's related to people that I do know. It's related to the whole situation. So that's why, it was a part of that whole thing. Plus, it was challenging them, because if they're trying to talk about my music, okay, let me see you do it. It's 2024, freaking October, close to November, halfway. I'm about to ill shot this bird, bro. Bro's just going around knowing I'm making a video. Where's the rifle? I'm about to pull out that 12 gauge. Anyway, like I said, would you rather hear, like, stuff that I know is true, or that I've been around, and hear stuff that I knew about this person? You would rather hear that was a fact than hear that a rap was made up. Yeah, sure, it could have been a bar. Sure, it could have been really good. But what if you found out that thing that was said about this other person B, that person A said about person B and rapped about, and the complete bar, right? Completely roasted them, completely, like, destroyed them, destroyed their career, etc. But what if you found out that wasn't real? That wasn't an actual fact. That wasn't something that was proven. Like, you would have more of a reaction and go crazy even more over something that's true, and that that is true. But, when I do my roast tracks, you can only, like, take it with a grain of salt, I guess you could say. Or just, not sure if you believe it or not. It's subjective, and you could believe it or not, and you could believe me, but what I'm about to say. But what I said was true in my songs was true. Like, legitimately, absolutely 100%, no cap, was true. And that's the thing that adds more of the best factor, of the intensity, of the intense factor, of so many things factor, of the best factor of my roast tracks, is because I bring up something that's actually a thing. I mean, shoot, if you want to prove me wrong about freaking the Alpha Shadow Hawk clone, peeing in his bed. He literally talks about it in a video where no one asked, but he answered anyway about that. About why he pees in a bed. I mean, we'll just use that for an example. If that wasn't true, he would not have responded to it, because it's in a song. That's how it is. But it had an effect on him to warrant a response that no one needed. You know, it didn't do anything for anybody. But that's an example right there, in case, you know, if people want something to believe that. Like Roman Reigns said, I think. And so, with everything that's been said, with everything there, the video is going to come to a close. It's going to come to an end. So, hope you have a legendary grand day. I hope I answered the question for you. I don't even know what to call you. Tuba, I guess. Hulk Hogan Tuba. And, you know, truth be told, I love roast tracks and I love doing them. And I would love to do another one. But it has to make sense. And it absolutely has to make sense with who it's on, why it's happening, why I'm gonna say what I'm about to say. You know, there's reasons to it. There's like, there has to have meaning, because a little bit, well, not a little bit of the meaning gets lost when you're not bringing up something that is, you know, true, or if I, you know, don't know the person, then, you know, it kind of loses that thing about it, if that makes sense. So, I mean, I want you guys to know, you know, how important it is when you have that, or how much better it is when it's a thing that I know that this person did, you know. But I think, like, to me, I think it would matter more if I knew the person. And I don't know how you guys feel. I'm sure there's some of you guys that don't care, just want me to do a roast track. And I absolutely can, right? I can. But like I said, the only time I do, and the only way I will do it, is if it makes sense. I can't just do it just to do it, because if I do it like that, it just loses that thing that just made it already so hype, so exciting to hear. Like, soon as the video goes up, oh shoot, instantly click on that. What is different this time from the last reality check? What is different this time from the last roast track that was made? What was different this time from, you know, from the ill shot? Or what is different this time compared to the John Cena beat roast track? Like, if that makes sense. Because another thing that I want to finish this video off, that I really, really want to talk about, is he says that I talk about the same people. Every song is different in their own way. It's a different song, different beats. Sometimes I use Lucky You, and then this other, like, hip-hop rap beat, like, a couple times. Okay, whatever. Who really cares if the song is good? You know, if no matter what, at the end of your listen, you're like, okay, that song was good. Then why does it matter I used a beat twice? Technically, really by accident, because I forgot I used Lucky You. That's why when I used it twice, I was like, oh, I forgot. I was going to do a Z-mix to it, and then I just never did. And then, you know, I just used the track twice, and that was accidental. So, you know, for those who don't know, now you know. And, like, just when you listen to those songs, like, they're so, so good. If you don't feel the same way, maybe you don't understand something, maybe you don't like it and you're playing both sides, maybe, you know, you're just lying to yourself, because no one out there has done what I have done and has the expertise to do what I do and has that skill, talent, and abilities to do those types of things and to do that. And it's something that, you know, you have to kind of have in order to do these things. And, you know, challenging all those people and then nothing coming out of it, like, we can tell who's the alpha and omega and who is the nobodies, the Call of Duty zombies that I trick shotted. And those are the subjects that I did my roast tracks on. But also, who else is there to talk about? And it's my music. I do it how I want it. If you listen and you like it, cool. If you don't listen but you like it, cool. If you do listen and you don't like it, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not made for you if you don't like it. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. If you don't like it, don't waste time explaining and critiquing all this little things. I'm the one making the music. You're the one who's either going to choose to listen to it or to not. That's all up on you. But don't blame me if I make songs, the airplane, on the same people, because it doesn't matter. Because it shows how overkill I've been doing to the dead horses, because they want to say all this stuff. They want to say all this stuff about my music too. So how come I just keep roasting them every single time, and then, nothing's coming out of it? So, think about these things before you say something. Think about all of it. Don't misunderstand, be misinformed, or not do the research before you comment, before you, comment on my chats, before you, tweet at me, or, comment again, like, etc. So on and so forth. When you talk about these things, you want to make sure that you do the research. So very easy to do research. If you, everything you do basically on the internet is research. So most things you do. There's a very good chance that a lot of the things that you do on the internet are research. You learn about something, you do the research. You want to learn about Five Nights at Freddy's theories? There's the airplane. By MatPat or Game Theorist. Not a promotion or not a plug-in, by the way, but shout out to them anyway. Then you go look at the FNAF theories. Like, it's simple. Like, these are things that anybody can think about. Why am I thinking about these ideas that thousands of people, millions of people can't think of, apparently? I'm just being real. And that's like nothing bad to anybody. No negativity toward anybody. I'm just answering a question that was commented, that was asked, and this is my answer. Now, if you don't like my answer, there are so many more people on YouTube. There are so many actual freaking, other music artists that are out there that do stuff. Which I'm, still a music artist. What the freak was that? Anyway, I'm still a music artist and all that, and a YouTuber, but there's other people is basically what I'm trying to say. There's just other people. So, if you don't like me, you don't like my music, you don't like the videos, you don't like the gaming, whatever, there's so many other people out there. Very, very simple. You don't have to watch me. No one's forcing you to watch me. No one's forcing you to listen to my music. If you want to put on my stuff and put it on mute, go for it. But yeah, it has to make sense for me to do a roast track, because I feel like if I'm just throwing out roast tracks, I don't really care if it's a bad rep or, whatnot, but it doesn't really make sense that it would be a bad rep, because it's just music and it's just, what it is. So, I don't know. To this question, I would answer, I don't know, I think would be the legitimate final answer. But also kind of a no and kind of a yes. That's what it is right now. It's just, it can really be any of the answers of yes, no, I don't know. Because, there's my reasons for why it's a no. There's my reasons for why it's a yes. And then, those same reasons or even other reasons are reasons why I don't know. So, I guess I'll just leave it off on instead of a yes and a no, it's just I don't know. So, I probably won't be doing one on that OnlyFans model or whatever her name is. And I'm not talking about the second one, which y'all will find out about later. They did a TikTok and everything. It was funny. And if I make that video, I don't even think I'm gonna make a video on that. That was just weird. So, I have something in the vault already, but I don't think I'm gonna pull that out. So yeah, as far as that goes, I could, but if you guys really want to see it, or if you guys suggest one or recommend one, go ahead, let me know in the comment section below who I should do a roast track on. But if it's someone that I already did a roast track on, then I would say add a reason why I should do it on them again, or just add a reason why I should do a roast track on someone. That's what I'll say about this. I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at a yes, no, I don't know. Just question mark. Not even I don't know. Just straight up question marks my answer. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about this. I'm gonna go edit the video now. Yeah, I don't really know, man. Like, it all comes down to a lot of factors. So, I'll just let you guys choose at this point, because I'm pretty much done. Like I said on the very last one, and when I talked about the last one, I said I'm pretty much done on roast tracks. Like, that's it. That's pretty much another squirrel. Okay. Like, that's pretty much it. So, as far as that goes, for now. Unless there's, a good reason to do another one, or unless, there's another good subject to do a roast track on, then let me know. But as far as that goes, yes, no, I don't know. Question mark.